Hello everyone, I'm Tapaswini Pathak. Today I'm speaking from the behalf of Open Source Help Community. Open Source Help Community has been formed for people who want to get started with contributing to open sources but facing issues or finding it too difficult and have lots of questions. Many of us receive questions from people who are interested in contributing to open sources that they don't know where to start, how to approach mentors, or there are too many resources for them, which one to pick, and many similar questions. Through this community, we are trying to create a medium where you can ask your questions directly to open source project contributors. We are accessible on Facebook and Slack till now. We'll soon be up and live on many more social channels. If you have questions or you can help someone by answering their questions, please join the community. You can request an invite for the Slack channel. All the information is present on the event page and on our Facebook page. As part of this initiative, we are starting with open source contributors chat sessions, where we will bring one open source project contributor to you once in 2 weeks. We'll pick the questions that you ask and answer them during the session so that we can help you as much as possible from our side. We are excited to start with Tony Thomas. Tony volunteers as the organization administrator for Google Summer of Code and Outreachy with the Wikimedia Foundation. He started with his contributions to the Mediawiki codebase back in September 2013 and did his GSoC with the Wikimedia Foundation in 2014. Apart from his involvements with Wikimedia, Tony currently interns with Igalia. Am I pronouncing it right, Tony?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and develops web apps in Python, Angular, and PHP. He's currently doing his master's in Internet Technologies and Architecuter at TU Berlin, from where he's joining us today. Hi, Tony. I hope you're good. Yeah. So do you want to say something before I start asking questions?
That's more than good. No, just continue.
Okay. So the first question to you is, even I want to know this. What are these terms, Wikimedia, Mediawiki, Wikipedia? How are they different or how are they related to each other?
That's a pretty nice question before I get deep into many of these things. So I hope my audio is clear, right? It's good? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
good.
Yeah, we tested this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, so hi from here, Tony Thomas. I'm here in Berlin. So let me just get into the question. So Wikimedia, Mediawiki, and Wikipedia. So Wikimedia is just an organization which funds all the projects like Mediawiki. Then they have Wikimedia Commons and Wikivoyage and everything. So it's just a parent non-profit organization, Wikimedia. So then you got Mediawiki, which is just a project which is funded and by Wikimedia employees and also volunteers. So we have developers who are directly paid by the foundation, and then there are people like me who are like volunteering, just happily volunteering. So that's Mediawiki. Then Wikipedia. So Wikipedia is just a wiki which is hosted on Mediawiki platform. So it's like Mediawiki is the platform, the PHP application, and Wikipedia is just a wiki. So just like that, you got English Wikipedia, Hindi Wikipedia, Malayalam Wikipedia, a lot of things. So these are different wikis which are just hosted using Mediawiki platform. So only some of them are like funded and nurtured by the Wikimedia Foundation, but it's like 750 wikis which Wikimedia Foundation has in their production cluster. So it's like pretty huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I hope you're clear. Yeah. Okay. So
what brought you to contributing to open source and started with Wikimedia? Your first patch was with Wikimedia, right? In open source world.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so to answer that question, I'll have to mention our FOSS club back at my university, FOSS Tamurda. So if we got some university students watching this, so we had a club. I mean, we still have a club, FOSS Tamurda, at our university, which is like a student club, and we got like 20 or 30, 35 students who are working on open source projects. So we do not expect anything much, but we just contribute. It's like just a selfless service. We had this one program which is like, okay, make your first open source contribution before August 15, 2013. I still remember the day. So
Nice.
we were all trying to contribute, but sadly, I couldn't do it before August 15 because, it's always pretty difficult because the first problem is you need to select the right organization according to your interest, and, you need to find out the bug and you need to fix it. So it was really tough. So I could only fix one by September 23rd. I think it was September 23rd and 13. So my first bug was something which I found myself while installing Mediawiki. So there was this one field on one of the form which was asking like your name, but later it was being taken as username, which is like confusing. So while installing Mediawiki, I got confused. Okay, this is not right. So I just reported it, and they said, okay, this is a valid bug, and I just fixed it. So that was my first open source contribution. That's how I started. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's it.
You remember a lot of dates. Okay.
Yeah, that was like, a really, really great day. Like, the day when you see your first production, it's like pretty good.
I just remember the months actually. That to the first patch that I submitted that month. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that day we had a small party or something, but after that, it's like, yeah, you know it perfectly, Danny. So
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah.
Okay. What were some challenges you faced, and how did you overcome it while contributing to the code base?
Yeah. Okay. So back in 2013, Wikimedia was using, some softwares like we had the Bugzilla, which is like, the bug tracker, and then we were using Git. So the thing is, we find out about the bug from Bugzilla, then you contribute the code to Git. So even today we use Git. I don't know if it's pronounced Git or whatever. Let's call it Git. So, but today they
What is the
replace.
other option?
Not
get it then?
What? Jared. I mean, I don't know. They call it Jared. I don't know.
Yeah, I
so,
also call it get it. Yeah.
Gerrit. Yeah, Gerrit is cool. So, right now they have Fabricator, which is like the bug tracker, and it's so user friendly. It just feels like Facebook. We even have a real time chat there. So it's pretty easy these days. Once you think about, okay, I'm gonna fix something in Mediawiki, it's pretty easy. You just go to fabricator.wikimedia.org, then choose a bug, and over there you get a pretty cool description box, and you see people who are CC'd might be interested in the bug. So if you get into some questions, you can start a conversation with them without much difficulties, because previously it used to be a bit more tough. And yeah, so probably they are replacing Jared too in a couple of years. Like there are discussions on moving the entire code review process also to Fabricator, but until now it's like plug in Fabricator and you fix it in Jared. So that was one thing. Like Bugzilla was a major blocker for me. Then the second thing was like, I was in the university, so of course universities have this problem. They block a couple of pods. So yeah, you might know that, Tabasuni, right? they always block pods. So this Jared used a particular port 2948, and it always got blocked. So I never even had a real option to upload a patch. So that was kind of bad, but right now they changed it. So, or in case if one of you is finding out that problem, you can use Jared Patch Uploader. I mean, I can send you the link later. If you Google it, there's something called Get Patch Uploader, which can just upload the patch for you. So no 2948. So that's it. Yeah. Then just to mention one more thing, there was also this problem with communications, because of course we have that problem. Like once you start working on it, you need to communicate with the mentors and everything. So that was just one problem, which kind of improved slowly over time, like from 2013 to 16. Yeah, that's it.
I'll add here. It is actually very easy to get started with getting your first patch into Mediawiki code base. I remember I met Tony in NIT Calicut last year.
And, yeah, exactly. We did that.
Yeah, I was done with my workshop and talk, and then I thought of creating a patch for Mediawiki. And then in 1 hour or so, I was able to create it with your help. And
Exactly, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it is,
that's nice.
at least it's good to, it's easy to get started. Then obviously you will need to give more work to improve the quality of your patches and your contributions. But yeah, it's good.
Exactly. So, I mean, one of those days it took me like 2 or 3 days, but today, I mean, it can be done in like half an hour or 1 hour. So, I mean, that's always there, that gap. That happens.
Yeah,
We are all
and
humans.
that's the good
Okay.
side when
Yeah.
people help others, because when it
Yeah.
was difficult for them, they make it a bit easier for others, understanding what they were in position. So you were at that point.
Exactly.
Many people were. We were for even we learned a lot of things. I and Vishali was there, but there were many
Yeah. Yeah.
people, many students who were actually creating and trying to contribute to MediaWiki, and that was very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Okay.
was nice. That was nice.
Uh,
Okay.
what is your current
So
role in the Wikimedia community, and what are the perks of contributing to Wikimedia?
that's pretty nice question. So even I ask myself like, what am I doing here? So so I started with my contribution back in September 2013, and then in 2014 I was doing my Google Summer of God project with them,
Mhm.
and we implemented a mail bounce handling extension called as Bounce Handler, which is like pretty cool, and we could deploy it in production. In production means 750 wikis, which is like a pretty good number. And
Yeah.
by 2015 March, I guess, yeah, it took like 6 or 7 months to get the software to production because it needs to go through all the security review, architecture review, whatever, blah blah. So in 2015, Google Summer of Code project, I was mentoring one of the projects with. So that was a newsletter extension, which still haven't hit production, but probably in 1 or 2 months we are expecting it to hit production. So then, of course, I mentored for Google Coding, which is pretty good. Then in 2016, I volunteered as the org admin for Google Summer of Code project after being the org admin for Outreachy. So so that's it. So just Google Summer of Code org admin, and also in 2016 I also mentored a Google Summer of Code project, which didn't end pretty well. Like the result was negative. Yeah, so that was pretty sad, but yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So that's it. So then, other than that, I was invited by the foundation to attend a few of its conference and Wikimedia. That's it. That was pretty fun, and then yeah. So more or less, I'm just a volunteer who is like just working with the foundation and just enjoying the time. That's it.
What are the perks you want to know?
Y- Excuse me, I didn't
I said, what are
get
the
that.
perks?
Perks. Okay, so you guys want to know the perks.
Yeah.
Okay, so just talking about it. So after I finished my project, like there are two kind of perks. One is like some like if you're just thinking about the enjoyment or the entertainment part, like there are all these travels and everything, which Wikimedia will fund you to, like if there's a conference or something, they would fund you to attend. But I don't know, more than that, there are pretty cool things which can come out as perks, because like in my case, I got a pretty good recommendation letter from my Google Summer of God 2014 vendor. So he works as a senior operations engineer for special projects in Media Foundation, Mr. Jeff Green. So he gave me a pretty good recommendation letter, which I think helped me to reach here in Berlin. So yeah, so that's one pretty good part. Okay, so it's not only with Wikimedia Foundation. If you work with any
Yeah.
projects, good mentorship, you always get pretty good connections. So other
Yeah.
than that, if you ask me about the other side, like the entertainment side, you get to visit countries like I was invited to like San Francisco, then Italy, whatever, France, then yeah, 2 times in Israel, and etc. So and then that would be the same with Tabaswani too. Like if you ask anyone who had been into open source and contributing for 1 or 2 years, the community always want you to stick, and they always want to your work. So they just together with them and have fun and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see many times this question. It's like I'm planning to try my best to get into GSoC 2017 and I'm eligible. What should I do straight away? So, what are your points that you'd like to share?
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're eligible means you're assigned to some university or something. So probably you're into something technical. So one thing you need to know about Google Summer of Code, you already might know that the projects should be strictly something to do with code. I mean, it's only technical. This is different from Outreachy, which can have which might not be strictly code. Like you can have documentation or translation or something for Outreachy, but for Google Summer of Code, it's a must that it should be something to do with code. So if you're interested in doing Google Summer of Code, the first thing to do is you need to select the project. So selecting a project is pretty difficult. Yeah, I know that. So there's this wonderful website, g.co/gsoc, the Google Summer of Code website. Log on to there, and then there's the organization listing. So just some organization according to your language interest. So if you do not have any language interest, then it can get still more complicated. So if you are, I mean, yeah, if you do not have any language interest, it's pretty complicated. I don't know. It's a difficult question to answer. Like if you want to participate in Google Summer of Code and you do not have a particular interest in any language, it's gonna get complicated. So better, you need to spend a few weeks finding out your language interest. Try out some different projects. Like you can broadly classify these things into either web projects, which might be related to something to do with web, like you got something like Mediawiki, WordPress, or Moodle, and or a lot of projects which can be on one of the web stacks. And then you got the programming projects, which can be more to the like C++ type, like the Linux kernel and all those other stuff, Mozilla Firefox, where you write some code and you see the program. So I think that's one very broad way of cutting down the projects, but I mean it's not good enough, because there are still better way of classifying the entire projects. But I just see it like this: web or programming. It's easy. So just select one of them, then just see which language interests you, and once you have that, that website g.co/gsoc helps you to figure out which community might be good for you. So just select one community, one organization, then check past projects. Just check if they were accepted back in 2016. So if it was selected in like 2 years continuously, then there's a chance that it might be selected for 2072. It's just a chance, okay, because it's Google's party and Google's thought. We cannot say that even Wikimedia Foundation would be selected, but we apply, and I don't know, like select, and that happened from 2006 till 2016. So I don't know. So just select the organization, and then just search for how to contribute your organization name in Google, and of course there will be some documents coming up. So if you are selecting Wikimedia Foundation, then you will land up in the where you have all the boxes listed. So you go for some easy tasks, and you start working on it. So I know this is like the very high level thing, but this might be similar for other organizations too. So the process is you find the organization, search how to contribute to the organization, join their IRC channels, mailing lists, whatever, and start working on simple tasks. So once you start working on simple tasks, you'll slowly get in touch with other community members, and it will be easy for you. Yeah, that's it. Too long question.
I will add something.
Yeah,
Some few years back, it happened that they didn't select many known organizations because they had a plan that they will allow newer organizations. So,
yeah,
but if that happens, what they do, what these big organizations do is they will have a separate summer of code program for that year, and they will still
exactly.
take students. So
Yeah,
even if
yeah,
you if even if you have a, just pick one and start contributing, even if you didn't don't get through Google Summer of Code, they will still conduct a Summer of Code program, and you'll still get the stipend, and you'll still be able to contribute through a program. And that is also there.
exactly. So yeah, yeah. Just to add, just like Google Summer of Code, like Wikimedia Foundation has other programs such as individual
Hmm.
engagement grants and project grants, which works more or less like Google Summer of Code. So if
Hmm.
you're really interested and you had a pretty nice project coming up, and the foundation will try to get that into code. So they will help you. So the thing is, you start early. That's it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
next question is, who all will I have to convince to get into GSoC? The community, the mentor, or the org admins? And how do I do that? Lots of
Yeah,
choices.
that's pretty interesting because there are a lot of names involved. Like you have the org admins at one place, and you have the mentors who will be mentoring the project. So if you ask me,
Hmm.
the question would be, I mean, the answer would be basically just the mentors, especially when you're talking about an organization like Wikimedia Foundation. So basically, the mentors are the one who would be selecting you for the project. So they are the one who would be ranking. I mean, you means your proposal. So if you can convince your mentor, then it's gonna be pretty easy. But in some organizations, like the org admin also play a bit more role. Like
Yeah.
they engage in like weekly meetings and everything. That's a pretty nice model. I mean, we never had that in Wikimedia Foundation, I guess. Like we just expect the mentors to take care of the students, and the org admin just take care about the organizational matters, make sure that the student submits their weekly status reports and nothing more. But probably next year it will change. So I think more or less it's just the mentors and the community that matter. Yeah, or just the mentor. So if your mentor is confident in you're good to go. So how to
Yeah.
get your mentor, yeah, convinced that you can work on it. That's the interesting part. So to get that, you need to have enough commits in the sense enough contributions done from your account. Okay,
Yeah.
because the community which have the mentor, the community should know, I mean, should feel convinced that, okay, so we are assigning this project to this guy, and he or she should complete it. So that's one thing which you get if you start early. So like in my case, I started by September 2013. So frankly, I never had any intention of getting into Google Summer Code or anything, because it was just a first program in my university. So I just started contributing, and suddenly one day on IRC, I think it was Namobis, he just messaged me, Tony Thomas, just check out this project. You might be interested in this for GSoC. Okay, so only at that point I thought, okay, let me try this thing out, and then it was all easy because when you start early, you get this advantage of knowing what exactly the community needs. Like
Mm.
you would know the pulse of the community. So
Yeah.
so when you go for that project, there's only a very less chance that that project might not get selected. That's the point. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
Tabasuni, you need to add something. You want to add something to it? Or?
No, it's good. It completes
Yeah.
everything. It covers everything.
Nice to see.
Okay. Next question. I see a lot of projects listed, and I wonder if someone will be assigning me projects. How will I get something interested to work upon? This is there usually in such organizations like Wikimedia or Linux kernel or OpenStack. There will be a lot of
Yeah.
projects listed, and the first timers will have problem in selecting one, and how it goes on, how will they be start working on something. So this is there. So what are your thoughts on it?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, this is interesting question because this happened to many of my classmates too. Because it didn't actually happen to me because I told you right on IRC one fine day, one of the guy from Wikimedia. I mean, he doesn't work for the foundation. He's also a volunteer. He just messaged me about this project, which turned out to be my project. So if you just arrive like 2 or 3 weeks or one or 2 weeks just before the GSoC program right into the community, you'll get really confused because there are like a lot of projects listed and with interesting requirements. So you'll really get confused on selecting the best one. So one thing to do is like usually in projects there should be a requirements field, which I think Wikimedia keeps it all the time. So if you have some specific skill sets, you can just browse through that requirements column and just see if this project will work out for you. So the other advice to avoid this confusion altogether is to just start early. So like right now it's just January. So if you start right now with any open source community, by the time the starts, that's like in March, you would actually know what project suits you and what project has a greater chance of getting into the Google Summer of Code selected slots. So that's one thing. Like just start early, or one of the community members will just tell you, okay, this project might interest you according to your past contributions. So just starting early is one way to solve it. So and the other one is to go through the requirements, find out which one would be good for you, and do not expect anybody to assign any project to you. It doesn't work out like that. You are the one who is supposed to find out the project, find out the member too. Like that was a bit of a problem in my case because for my project it wanted like two vendors from two different area. Like one was from technical operations and one was from Mediawiki. So it was really difficult to get one from the technical operations, but a lot of people from the community helped me. Like they posted that thing in a couple of their mailing lists, and finally Jeff Green agreed. That was pretty good. That's it.
Okay. Next question is, other than code, what do you think are some essential skills which someone would think they would need to start with an open source community, and how can someone acquire them?
Yeah, that's again interesting question. So other than code, what all do you need? So so if you ask me, the one thing which can help too much is your writing skills. Like if you can be like super expressive with writing, like especially on emails and on comments in the bug tracker and everything, you can easily convince and also show people that you can do it. Like that's always this unfair advantage of good writing skill. And the thing is, it only evolves with a lot of practice. So one thing we did it in my first club was we had a system in which every student is supposed to send daily status reports to a mailing list. So that really works. So if some university student is watching this video, they can think about maybe forming a club, or maybe 3 or 4 people starting a mailing list or something, and then just start sending daily status updates. So this status update can be I mean, it can be technical, which is like pretty nice. Like, okay, so today I worked on so and so bugs. I got blocked on so and so places, and this is my aim for tomorrow. So just putting all those 3 things in an email and sending it every day to a mailing list. So with that regular practice, in maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you can master the skill of email writing. So once you get that, you are good to go with coding skills for, I think, not only for Google Summer of Code, any projects or any application, any internships or whatever you write. If you have that writing skill, it's good. So one other thing is, okay, so that's important. So just try learning a bit of Git. There are a lot of like coding skill. No, but you cannot say code and Git. I mean, these are like 2 different things. So Git skills you can only earn by using Git. Or I don't know if it might take maybe a couple of months to really understand Git. I don't understand large part of it. So you can always do one thing, like if you're in the university, you would probably have a lot of assignments and things. You can just create Git repositories for these assignments and then just push it. Yeah, that really works. Yeah, I did that back at my time. Yeah. So if you don't have anything else to push to GitHub, just do that. So that has two advantages. One is that your Git commit count will increase, and your GitHub profile would look better than your Facebook profile, which is pretty good. So and the second thing is you understand Git, which is really good.
Yeah.
So that's a win-win situation. Yeah, that's a good thing. So there's this other website, try.github.io. They can always Google it. So then the third thing is, reporting. So reporting is one key factor which can help you always, like especially even if you're if you don't report pretty well, there's a chance that project might end up in a failure. Like I think that helped. I mean, that caused for a negative result in the recent Google Summer of 2000 project, which I was mentoring, because there's always a communication gap which can happen when the student is not reporting. So just make sure that you report daily. So yeah, I gotta say that in my club, like back at my university, we were sending status updates, which is like reporting skill. So just do that locally with your friends or whoever is motivated, and then just do it. Or in the worst case, even we can start a mailing list, right? That's really like for open source help community, just start a mailing list, and people can just send in their updates so that they can get mailing techniques. So and believe me,
we'll have
it's
a separate
difficult.
meeting for this.
Yeah. It's difficult. Like all your initial emails will just look like crap. It really happens. I just look back at emails which I used to send back in 2013, and it's like really bad. Like it always.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
it is.
Yeah, everyone has got that story to tell. So it only improves by continuous writing, and just do it. So the fourth thing, I always had this in mind. So there are some time you need to publicize yourself a bit. So for that, you need a portfolio website or something. Like it doesn't cost too much. Like if you have a pretty good, I mean, not pretty good. If you have like an average GitHub account, you can just apply for GitHub Student Developer Pack. You can just Google about it. I think most of the guys would have it, and you can get a free domain name. So in .me namespace. So just get a domain name and host your website on GitHub. So that people, like maybe it might be your mentor just looking up you, and he just see your website and okay, it's good. So yeah, that can happen. Yeah, that's it. Too long question again.
It helps to club everything together at one place. Having a website.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there
are people who are not into coding and still they want to get into open source. And so what in Mediawiki, how does it work? And if someone want to contribute other than code, other than through code, so what can they do?
All right, so contributing other than by code for it we cannot say Mediawiki. We will have to say Wikimedia Foundation there, because Mediawiki is more or less a software. It's confusing.
Wikimedia Foundation.
Yeah. So there are multiple ways.
And then I learn it again.
No, it's difficult. I mean, even I get confused a couple of times. So one thing you can do is like, of course, the documentation. That can be like contributing to Mediawiki, even though you are not contributing directly to Mediawiki. You can take part in documenting part of it, or you can do testing in the sense like what I did, like software, install it, play around with it, see if some bug come up. And probably if you are that interested in testing, you might be interested in fixing it too. So that might end up in coding. So leave it. So one other way of doing this is to be technical ambassadors for the Wikimedia Foundation by hosting events. Events in the sense like maybe a hackathon or editathon or something like that in your university or locality. So there are interesting projects like the Wikimedia Rapid Grants, which can give you up to $2,000 if you can convince them that this program which you have in mind is going to be, interesting and beneficial for the Wikimedia's goal. The goal of Wikimedia Foundation is just to spread knowledge. So if your program aligns with that goal, there's a high chance that you get funded and even go pretty nice. So I had done a couple of such workshops, a couple of ones in my university and some other places in India, and it went pretty nice, and there were a lot of contributions, etc. So yeah, it's more or less a bit code, but even if you are not into coding, you can do that. One other way of contributing would be to, maybe it's again a workshop thing, but not for university students. But if you can do it, like just invite some school kids. Yeah, school kids of the age maybe less than age, so that they can participate in Google Coding. So Google Coding is one other program where university students like we cannot participate. So just invite a couple of students or maybe their teachers, and then just invite maybe somebody who is well with the Wikimedia codebase, and then just host a workshop or something. Or if you want to talk, or if you are good with developing Mediawiki, then just you can do it yourself. Or you can just some online courses from the internet and then ask every kid to do it along with you, which is like pretty good though. So that's one way. So that's like being tech ambassadors, and then I think that's more or less it, right? Yeah. Tabasuni, you need to add something, or it's too much, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Just workshops. Yeah.
We have got one question from Kapil SG186. This person is asking, I have seen with some organizations that you need a lot of skills before participating in GSoC. People are already with them long time before GSoC. Is this also case with Wikimedia?
Okay, so
This should be
that's one thing.
Wikimedia or
Like,
Mediawiki?
I mean, when he's saying that you need to do a project with, I would say Wikimedia. Yeah, project with Wikimedia Foundation. That's the point.
Okay.
Yeah, but if it's like project in, then probably Mediawiki. So if he's interested in doing a Google Successful project with, say, Wikimedia Foundation, I would say that the past contributions, like Google say that, I mean, there's no clause in Google's rules saying that a Google Summer of Code student should have like this much commit history or anything. So it's not a strong requirement, but if you have some past contributions, then it's definitely an advantage. And especially, I'm telling this because we are having this conversation right now in January 2017, and the program only starts by March. So if the student who asked that is interested in doing it, if he starts right now, he might have like a pretty good chance, because just looking at the the number of applications we receive and the expertise of these students, because I've been on the admin side, I could see the applications. I just feel that a lot of students just turn out like 1 week or 2 weeks before the program starts. So that's one motivation for you to start early. So if you start early, just it, right? You start early and you're cool with the community. How can they say no to you? That's the point. So definitely to that guy, do not worry about anything like that if you're especially interested in Wikimedia Foundation. So if you just start right now, it's well and good. And yeah, that's it. Just introduce yourself to the mailing list or join the IRC channel and just start working with small bucks. That's the best best thing to do right now. And then by February mid or early March, you can start working on really huge projects.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, anything else you have in your mind which you would like to add apart from all the questions that I asked, which would be useful, which
Okay,
can be
so
useful for the people?
yeah, so other than that, just okay, so there's one more thing which just came out of the Google Summer called Menders Summit this time. So this might be really bad news
Mm-hmm.
for everyone. So so Google is
Okay.
having this strange plan to make a location-based remuneration. Like they are thinking of changing the fixed flat 5,500 US dollar per project. Okay, so this is going to be one
Mm-hmm.
root motivation for you to start, because especially if you're based in a place where the cost of living is low, they are
Mm-hmm.
planning to cut down the total amount. Okay, so there are a lot of discussions
Okay.
happening over there,
Okay.
especially because we are Indians. But I don't know, this video
Right.
might be seen by people outside India too. So it's a danger mark for you guys. So I mean, as an org admin, shouldn't be talking about the money aspect, but definitely it's a cool aspect of Google Summer Camp, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
getting an internship with Google and the money. So
Yeah.
that should be a pretty good motivation for you. So don't wait for like 2018. Till 2017 there hasn't been any official announcement, but you can expect it really soon. So because the open source team are like pretty adamant about it, and they find it pretty necessary to, and it makes some sense, like especially for people in the US and place where the cost of living is pretty high. The 5,000 US dollars doesn't make much sense, and they can get more than that if they go for maybe some other internship or some maybe just working outside.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the point. So they need to change it a bit, but they told that once they do that, they would be increasing the count of students accepted
Yeah.
too. So
Mm-hmm.
it will be like more people will get into Google Summer Card, but the amount
Mm-hmm.
would be less. Yeah, I mean it's pretty good for the organization anyway, but I don't know how it's gonna affect. Yeah. So
Yeah. There
what do
is
you
one
think?
program as Rails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just asking, like, what do you think about that? Like, just changing the amount. That's crazy.
I just got to know. I know don't have any thoughts right now, but it's actually there. There is one program as Rails Girls Summer of Code, and they follow this structure that they pay as per the cost of living
Yeah,
where you're
that's something.
of the student, and it's
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
You get to take a lot of students. You get to encourage a lot of people, and it's yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, people who
exactly.
are participating are students, so whatever they get is not actually whatever they should get what they are contributing and how much ever
It-
they efforts they
yeah,
are putting, but it's
yeah,
good
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
anyway.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think yeah. So we have like 1 minute for 45 minutes. So we are pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
Or are we? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So yeah,
all the
I'll wind
best
it up.
for
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Just go on. No, all the best for you guys who are like, thinking of getting into Google Summer Code or anything. So if you guys need any help, like I'll be mostly available in hash Wikimedia-Devrel in IRC Cloud. Not in IRC Cloud, sorry, in free now IRC. Okay, I just use IRC Cloud. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll wind it up. Thank you so much for
Come on.
sharing your experience and answering all the questions today.
Yeah,
Hope this
yeah,
will help for people who
yeah,
are interested in getting into open sources. And from the community, as a admin, even Tony is a admin, and
yeah.
Dinu, we'll be coming up with more such sessions. So stay connected, stay tuned, and we'll try to work from our side as much as we can to provide you all the help. And yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.